Thank you for joining me today in counting down the top 10 polar bears in video games. We're starting off the top of the list with the number 10 polar bears, one from the Donkey Kong Jungle Freeze, the game where the jungle freezes over and the polar bears and the penguins are there and they go to the jungle for the Nintendo Wii U or the Switch. This next one is a stupid polar bear from Donkey Kong games as another Donkey Kong games where all those bears are there. And this is the polar bear from that one. It's the Donkey Kong Country 3 game with the stupid baby Kong. This is Polar. This is Beartic from Pokemon. Pokemon Black and White Beartic, Arctic bear, polar bear Pokemon from the snow. And he is a big polar bear who has icicles frozen around his face and mouth. Beartic is a super powerful opponent and good Pokemon. Ice-type Pokemon. This next Pokemon no, this is just a polar bear. It's not a Pokemon. It's a polar bear from the Ice Age games where you're walking through playing the Ice Age 2 the Meltdown for the Nintendo Wii. When you're running around as a squirrel. This next one is Polar Bear, but the polar bear from Crash Bandicoot, the little one. This is the start of what I like to refer to as the trifecta of polar bears. Crash Bandicoot has three of the best polar bears in a row. The first one is that little one that you jump on and get extra lives from. This next one is from Crash Bandicoot, the polar bear who drives the tank in Crash Team Party game, in the Crash Party game, Crash Bash, where you're driving the tank, or where he's driving the tank and you have to watch out. And finally, the third, big scary polar bear. This polar bear is a big scary polar bear, and he's the third Crash Bandicoot polar bear from Crash Bandicoot games, and also the next best polar bear. And that concludes the trifecta of Crash Bandicoot polar bears. Long live the life of the polar bear. The polar bear is back, finally, in this game. Raise up to 4 cups in Polar Bear's Arctic Exploring Adventure. Explore the Arctic Adventure Ocean as a polar bear in Polar Bear Simulator. This next one is the polar bear from Banjo-Kazooie, the one where he accidentally swallowed the Jiggy piece, and then you have to bash on his stomach, and then you have to race him you have to battle him in his sled. And he does have other polar bears in that game. That game does have 2 other polar bears in it. His polar bear children. This next one is a polar bear game. It's for the Wii. It's the #1 polar bear game. These are the best polar bears, and it's the DS version of the game, or of Arctic Tale. You play through the adventures of the major motion pictures that this, I guess, was a movie, and you're a polar bear walking around the Arctic adventure, and it's nice. And thank you for joining me, and have a nice day.